Steve Spagnuolo has always been extremely complimentary of your play, and this week he said that you have no weaknesses. Would you agree with his assessment of your game?
I would disagree. I think I definitely got stuff to work on and get better at. I appreciate the comments, but there's always something. And like in the NFL, there's always something to get better at, and as a quarterback too, man, you can never be perfect. There's always something. So I appreciate it, but yeah, I got to get better too.
The numbers show that this Chiefs defense sometimes gives up points early and then gets better and better as the game goes on. Does the film show that? Is there anything on the film that they do differently as the game progresses that helps them?
Man, I think they're just they have a lot of experience within playing within the scheme. A lot of the guys that have been there, they understand how their coordinators call them plays and where they need to be. It's a very sound and disciplined defense, and I think for them, maybe, I don't know for sure, I'm not in their meetings or anything, but it might be the bend but don't break kind of defense, and when the game matters and it's on the line, they're the side of the ball that needs to get it done, and their defense has shown that in the last couple of games in this season. So definitely do see it. They haven't given up many points, and like I said, they all have a lot of experience together, and they play and they tie together really well just across the board. So one of the best defenses that we'll see this year for sure.
Brock, what kind of chemistry are you developing with Pearsall, and do you think he could help you guys in the red zone?
Yeah, he's done a really good job, obviously, being back and just bringing the juice, going really fast in and out of his cuts and creating some really good separation. And so, obviously, we drafted him in the first round, and he's got a lot of potential, man. And so, for him to get in and actually be a part of our offense, not just a young guy that's trying to learn his way, but actually trying to make an impact pretty early on, man. For me, I love it, and it's another great option in another part of our offense. And so, I think obviously, tomorrow we'll go through our red zone plan and stuff. But to answer your question, like when you have a guy like Ricky that can win, man-to-man matchups, and then also open up some other guys too, that's always a good thing. So I'm excited to see what he does.
Right, last year you had a game against Philadelphia that from the outside was being perceived as this big revenge game because of obviously what happened in the championship game. But within the building, it seemed like you guys were pretty much focused on your business and not getting into all that, what happened the year before. Is this a similar situation to that with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I would say so. Only because, a couple years ago we played the Eagles. It was a playoff game, NFC Championship, and then whatever happened, and then boom, you got a whole new situation. You got to focus on the 2023 season, and it's similar deals last year with the Super Bowl. That was the Super Bowl. Obviously, we wanted to win it and everything. Didn't go our way, but now it's 2024, man. It's a regular season game. It's the next opponent for us. We have some new guys on our team, some guys that have left. I've said this before, but this is the 2024 49ers going against the 2024 Chiefs, and so for us, we're focusing on the next team up. Are we trying to go out and get our revenge and get all this stuff? That's not our mindset. And if it was, I think we wouldn't be able to play at our best and play at our standard. Our standard is to be our best no matter who we're playing right now in the present, not looking back in the past, not looking too far ahead in the future, but where we're at right now. So that's our mindset.
Focused on the Chiefs defense, but when you look at Patrick Mahomes, do you look at him as like an all-time great, someone you're trying to reach, or do you look at him as a peer, an equal?
I think, he is who he is. I am who I am. All the quarterbacks in the NFL, I guess, would say the same thing. And so, obviously for what he's done and obviously the Super Bowls that he's won and just what he's done in the NFL with his plays and his style of play, it's really fun. It's fun to watch. And, but do I compare myself to him or anything like that? No, I don't compare myself to any other quarterbacks in the NFL. I am who I am, and I'm trying to win for the 49ers and play my style of ball. But obviously, I tip my cap to him, and he's done a tremendous job, man. He's definitely on the way up to being one of the greats in the NFL as a quarterback, and that's no secret. And so whenever you get a chance to go up against a guy like that on the other sideline, it's always fun. So you're good.
When you mentioned the 2024 Kansas City Chiefs, they're more than likely going to try to get after you and pressure you in this one. How are you trying to prepare for that? I know you can't give the details, but the best way to explain your plan of attack, knowing that that's coming this time around, how's that preparation been for you this week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the Super Bowl last year, they made some adjustments of going to more man coverage and making us win in those kind of matchups. And so, for us, it's like, all right, obviously we got to be ready for that kind of stuff, but it's a whole new year, it's a new season, and they're going to be making their tweaks and adjustments as well. So it's not like we're going to get just that. They're going to come in with their scheme and try to dial some things up against us, and so are we. And so for us, it's going in. It's being dialed in every play with whatever the situation is, and playing our standard and our way of football. If we could just do our job really well, I think everything will fall into place how it needs to, and we're a really good team if we can do that. So that's how I'm looking at it. I know all the guys in the locker room are doing the same thing, and we just got to be ready for all the situations and be on top of our plays and our answers within the game.
He's facing, okay.
You mentioned that you felt like a theme of the season so far as you've seen more man coverage, and you just mentioned the Chiefs doing it more in the Super Bowl last year. Do you get the sense at all that maybe teams are kind of trying to follow some sort of, I know you didn't get it as much against Minnesota and Seattle, but do you get the sense that the teams are maybe following that more, or is it maybe just more coincidental through the first 6 games?
I mean, I think it depends on the team and their scheme and their personnel, and if they think they can match up against our guys and man coverage and stuff or not. And every team is different, and so it just comes down to the moments, how they're coming in and what their plan of attack is from the jump, and then making adjustments. So, like that's every game, and that'll be the case moving forward with every team that we play. So. But with that being said, I feel like we have seen some more man coverage and stuff, and honestly, I think we've done a pretty good job still of finding ways to move the ball, even though we do see more man. It's not like man coverage is our kryptonite or anything like that. I still think we got really good ball players that can create separation, and we find ways to win. And so every team's different. I can't promise a team is going to run this because of what the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl. So every game is different.
Brock, you made your debut against Kansas City 9 or 10 plays a couple of years ago. What do you remember about that? And do you ever, when you're home relaxing, just allow your mind to go back to that moment when you did make your debut?
Yeah, we sort of joke about it actually, just because when I did get thrown into that game, it was my first real regular season action, and I just remember it was pretty fast. The game was fast for me. My feet were moving really fast, and I just remember seeing like Frank Clark and some of the guys. And I was like, man, these guys are still in the game. Like I'm in at the end of the game, and they're still in, and like just my mind was going pretty fast. So just to see like how I was feeling and everything in that moment from that like moment a couple years ago all the way till now, it's pretty funny. But also like for me, I take pride in like learning and the growth and the process of this whole thing of playing in the NFL week to week and getting better with my fundamentals and being able to actually thrive in those kind of situations and in the moments. That's progress, man. That's getting better. And so look back on it and sort of chuckle about some stuff, but yeah.
His front floor is pretty distinct in what the Vikings are doing. But how much do you think, if at all, that sort of game where there's a ton thrown at you, it's pretty unpredictable, how much do you think that helps in terms of preparing for someone like Spagnuolo?
Yeah, I think, those are two different schemes, that's for sure. But, I think it goes back to just like the simple mindset of just being on top of your play, every play, and the details and where's my answer per coverage and what's going on. The Minnesota game that's such a great experience of going through every single play. Something different can happen, and I have to get to this guy or that guy. And so when it comes to the Chiefs and how Spags is going to call the game, it's the same thing for me at quarterback. Like I have to get to my answers. I have to go through my progressions when I can, and obviously just take what the defense is giving me and not trying to force it and do too much. And so two different schemes, but similar mindset in terms of I have to find my answer within every play and every coverage.
Jordan Mason got hurt last game. Did that reveal anything to you or anybody about the importance he has in this offense for what he's done through 6 games?
Just knowing that, he's a physical runner, and obviously when the gaps and the C's part, like that's great for any running back, but with Jordan, it's when the gap isn't there, he's still going to push for another 5-6 yards or break a couple tackles. Like that's the mark of a great running back in the NFL, man. That's not easy. And so when he went down, it's like, man, obviously we love that part of him, but we have some young guys behind him that, need to step up and do their part. And I think Garendo did that. Patrick did that. They came in, they played physical, but obviously you just love JP's mentality because he does it every play, and every running back is a little different, but that's what he's really good at. And so, when he went down, it's like, dang, that is pretty valuable for us in the run game. And but we always have the next guy up, and we're ready to give the next guy a shot, and we always got each other's back. So it was what it was in the Thursday night game, but we're excited that he's healed up and got some rest and ready for this one.